Where do you think CISOs really need to focus when they think about security around AI? I break it down into kind of three phases, and I'm interested to see if you agree. So there's the, hey, I've got to use AI to help me in that security context to provide better security to the organization. I've got to protect the models, right, that we're using within AI. And then the third thing is the adversary, right? How is the adversary going to use AI and compromise and make my job harder as a CISO? So are those the three? Is there a fourth? Is there something else that I'm missing? Or
I think you've captured that perfectly. I do think the regulatory piece starts to come into this picture quite a bit now as well. So how do I think about the regulatory architectures? EU AI Act has now hit. People are really concerned about that. And even the definition of AI is different in Europe potentially than it is in some of the presidential EO or other EOs that have been written here in the States. So those are some things that I think are impacting, but I think you've hit that right on. When we think about also adversarial use of AI, I think we're at the very beginning. It's still too easy for these adversaries to use non-machine learning use cases, but you're starting to see proliferation.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of really response to that, right? I've seen people talking about the other side of the coin, but I haven't really, people generally will have the conversation, but it just gets left, and there hasn't really been a lot of thought, I think, put into that. So are you seeing the same thing, that it's really early days in that?
I think so. I'm not necessarily the right person to ask about some of those things. We're really focused on how does AI come into an enterprise? How does it get built? How do we think about the models, the data, the toolkits, how we support use cases for an enterprise? I think from an adversarial perspective, though, it's the Wild West. Just, I think they have access to all of these tools, and they're going to start using them to make it easier to do their jobs, make it cheaper, just like we are looking at the enterprise, but they don't have any compliance requirement.